There has been so much in the news about real estate, specifically about the NAR, the National Association of Realtors lawsuit that is supposed to change the way that agents get paid. With this happening in the news, you might be wondering to yourself, do I really need a buyer's agent? In today's episode, we're going to be talking about whether or not you do need a buyer's agent, what value buyer's agents can provide, and more information about if you're thinking about buying, this lawsuit may impact you. Let's get into it right now. My channel, welcome. You have come to the right place for all there is to know about living, working, playing, and thriving in the Baltimore metro region. My name is Persia. I am a local real estate agent, and every day I get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you who are thinking about relocating to the Baltimore metro region or who are thinking about buying and selling in the Baltimore area, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking about making a move in the next 9 days or 90 days, make sure to reach out to me and to my team. You can call us, text us, email us. We could set up a video chat, and it would be our absolute pleasure to help you move to the Baltimore metro region. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to tap the bell and to hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified as soon as there is new content to the channel. Okay, so if you haven't heard about the NAR lawsuit, or maybe you have and you're just a little bit unclear, I'm gonna try to break it down to you a little bit so that you understand. So typically for the past 100 years, essentially, real estate transactions have worked this way. Sellers of properties pay for both sides of the transaction. They pay the listing agent who represents them in the sale, and they also pay the agent who brings the buyer. So the commission is split between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. Recently, a lawsuit was filed on behalf of sellers who said that they didn't know that commission was negotiable and they didn't think that they should have to pay a buyer's agent if the listing agent was the one representing them. And often buyer's agents act against their own best interests, right? They try to negotiate prices down, etc., etc. So how has this lawsuit and settlement changed things? The multiple listing service is the hub where all of the information that real estate agents get about listings that are coming on, about commissions, etc., is going to be changing. Currently, and until middle August, we know as buyer's agents whether or not a listing agent is offering compensation if we bring a buyer. However, the NAR lawsuit is changing all of that. So after middle August, that information is not going to be advertised. So buyer's agents aren't going to know from the multiple listing service whether or not sellers are going to be compensating a buyer's agent. As I've mentioned in other videos, I think that things are pretty much going to stay the same for the most part. I think even though those commissions can't be advertised, I think the majority of sellers are going to understand the benefit of cooperating with buyer's agents, and hopefully that commission will still be offered. However, there may be, because of this lawsuit, increasing cases where sellers and listing agents are not offering compensation to a buyer's agent. And so that burden may become one that the buyer has to take on, which hasn't traditionally been the case in the past. So if you're a buyer in this market and you're thinking to yourself, no worries, I can just do this on my own. Who needs a buyer's agent? I don't need to pay an extra 2.5% of the purchase price to a buyer's agent. I can handle all this myself. We're going to get into the reasons why buyer's agents are really important and why, yes, in fact, you do need a buyer's agent. Reason number one that you need a buyer's agent is because we know the market. Market insights is one of the biggest values that a buyer's agent can provide. We are in a very crazy market in which there is high demand and low inventory, and having a buyer's agent who is savvy about the market, who knows what comparables have gone for, who knows what it means, having a certain number of days on market, who knows how to negotiate in a multiple offer situation. Knowing the market is super important. And yes, buyers now have access to Zillow, to Trulia, to all of these websites where they can do a lot of research And yeah, you guys are super savvy. You know what's going on in the market, but I will tell you, as a professional who does this as her full-time job, it's a little bit different kind of knowing this, having experience in all of this than, if you are just doing this kind of in your spare time and doing it for yourself and having to juggle everything. It's a lot. So the market insights, the knowledge of what's going on in the local real estate market is invaluable, and is reason number one that you need a buyer's agent. Reason number two why you need a buyer's agent is local expertise. So the market is one thing, but also you need insights on neighborhoods. A lot of folks that I work with are relocating from other areas, and a buyer's agent is going to help you to understand, especially in an area like Baltimore, which neighborhoods might be best for you and your family, what you're looking for, which neighborhoods have amenities, which ones are walkable, which ones, are affordable for your price point, which ones have green spaces, which ones are the ones that you're looking for. So having that neighborhood and local expertise is really, really important, and another reason why working with a buyer's agent is important. Local expertise also comes in handy when it comes to pricing. A good buyer's agent is going to let you know if something seems way overpriced, even if it's just come on the market, if something is a steal, if you can be able to negotiate something down. So having somebody who has local area expertise, who has an idea of what things have sold for in different areas, is going to be really important to helping you save money and get the best possible deal. Reason number three why you need a buyer's agent is because of all of the value that a buyer's agent can provide. Number one is during showings. Oftentimes you might see something that is beautiful on the internet, and when you come in person, it doesn't really stack up. And a buyer's agent sees tons of homes, tons of flipped properties, tons of old properties, and they can point things out. I remember I was with a couple, a pair of buyers, and we were walking through a house, and I noticed how the electrical was super old and how they didn't have 3-prong outlets, which means a lot about the state of the electricity. And I'm just pointing things out to them, and they're like, wow, we would have never even noticed that. And so these things that a buyer's agent knows, because she routinely goes into houses and sees these types of things, is something that we can point out and we can show you that you might just be distracted by, or see the beautiful paint and the beautiful staged furniture and overlook these things. So it's our job to have your best interest in mind, and so pointing things out about the electrical outlets, pointing things out about things going on in the basement that they might need to know about, is super valuable and can save you a lot of money and heartache down the line. Buyer's agents also provide value during the transaction, not just during the showings. I can't tell you countless times that I've saved my clients money because of suggesting different things to do that they might not know to do, like radon inspections. If you have a radon issue, it costs $1,000 at least to get it remediated. So if you didn't know that was going on, number one, it's harmful to be breathing that in. And number two, when you know preemptively, you can ask the seller to pay for things. Things like a sewer line inspection, I always recommend. Those have saved thousands. $14,000 in one case for my client. Other things are like, charges that shouldn't be made to you at the settlement table. So I review your settlement statement and make sure that there's nothing superfluous there that shouldn't be there. So we provide value not only during showings, we're not just door openers, we are providing value and saving you money, time, and trouble throughout the entirety of the transaction. Next thing on the list of why you need a buyer's agent is that buyer's agents, at least good buyer's agents, provide strong negotiation skills. In today's market, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are in a high demand, low inventory market. And how this is affecting the market in the Baltimore area is that we are seeing homes that are priced well for their location and in good condition are often selling quickly and with multiple offers. So you need an agent who knows how to win out in multiple offer situations. You need an agent who has experience, who knows strategies that are going to put you at the top of the stack when you are looking to buy a home. You also need an agent who knows when you as the buyer have some wiggle room to get concessions from the seller, to negotiate repairs after a home inspection. So all of these things are things that a buyer's agent provides, and a full-time buyer's agent is going to have your back and make sure to negotiate your best interests. Another reason you need a buyer's agent is that buyer's agents provide their clients emotional support. So I don't know how many times I've heard from people that, thank you, you're like our therapist, because sometimes going through the buying process can be stressful. Now, sometimes emotions are taken out of it, particularly when I'm working with investors. It's not super emotional, they're looking at the bottom line and the numbers. But oftentimes when I'm working with clients, first-time home buyers, people who are selling their home, and it's their first home, the home they raise their kids in, a lot of emotions come up. And so a buyer's agent or a listing agent, if that's the side that you're on, provide emotional support. And so the buying process can have a lot of parts to it, can have a lot of emotions, can have a lot of ups and downs, negotiating with the other side, and having somebody to kind of hold your hand and guide you through it can be really, really valuable. Next on the list of reasons why you need a buyer's agent is to provide reputable service providers. So you as a buyer need a lot of people in this process, not just an agent, right? You need a title company, you need a home inspector, you need perhaps electricians, plumbers, people to come in to kind of verify work. Maybe you need contractors because you're planning on, rehabbing the kitchen or bathrooms after you purchase something. So having a good buyer's agent who has reputable service providers to recommend to you is really valuable, because you don't just want to go with any Joe Schmo off the street. That can cost you a lot of money, time, and headache, right? Having somebody who works on this full time, who has service providers that they've worked with successfully in the past, is really important because they can pass that value on to you. And the last reason why you need a buyer's agent in this market is because you want someone to provide you with professionalism and confidence. You don't want someone who's not going to answer their phone. You don't want someone who is not confident about laws and rules and timelines for transactional details. And if you are an individual who has a family, who works, who has other things going on in their lives and is not a full-time realtor, you might miss a deadline, which could cost you a lot of money. You might not know how to negotiate something or how to do something directly with a listing agent or a seller and end up costing yourself a lot of time, money, and frustration. So having somebody who is confident, who knows the market, who knows contracts, who knows negotiations, who can make sure that they are looking out for you throughout the entirety of the process, and also someone who's very clear on every step of the way and guides you through it, is something that really is worth the money if you have to shell it out. So what do these potential NAR lawsuit changes mean for you if you are looking to hire a buyer's agent? The first thing is a buyer's agent is going to be very transparent during the buyer consultation process that in order to see properties, you're going to have to sign a buyer's representation agreement, which basically means that we have a relationship, we're working together, I'm working on your behalf in order to go show houses. That agreement will also have information in it about compensation. Now, generally in the state of Maryland, buyer's agent compensation is 2.5% of the purchase price of a home. And in that buyer representation agreement, there's going to be language that is the buyer's responsibility. Now, I, working with my clients, will let my clients know if compensation is not being offered to prepare them if they would have to pay my commission. It's fully transparent. We would have that conversation. In my opinion, I don't know this for sure because we really won't know how things work out until after August 17th when all of this is implemented. But I think in most cases still sellers are going to provide that compensation for buyer's agents. But if not, it's a conversation that we will have and that you as a buyer will be fully aware of. It's not going to spring up by surprise. Yes, this means that there is a potential that if you are hiring a buyer's agent, you may have to pay that 2.5% as part of your closing costs. So now, potentially for buyers, you have down payment, closing costs, and maybe even a buyer's agent commission. So what that means for you is to prepare. Prepare yourself mentally that might be the case and have the conversation with your realtor. Ask any questions that you need to feel comfortable and confident with moving forward with that relationship. And number two, prepare yourself financially. Yes, this might mean that you have to pull out additional savings or that you have to do some additional saving in order to be able to hire a buyer's agent. But for all of the reasons that I listed before, it is well worth it. And I think that you will be really happy with making that decision rather than trying to go through the buying process on your own. There you have it, an answer to the question of, do I really need a buyer's agent? My answer is yes. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a great buyer's agent. I'm saying that because if you want to have a confident transaction, a buyer's agent is really going to help you through that. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Again, if you are looking to make a move, to sell your home, to make a purchase in the Baltimore metro area, please reach out to me and to my team. We would absolutely love to help you. You can call us, text us, email us. We can set up a video chat and it would be our pleasure to help you. If you are watching this video, but you are in another area and need a recommendation or referral to a fabulous agent to help you buy or sell a home, also please reach out. We have a network across the country of fabulous agents that we can connect you with, so don't hesitate to reach out. And again, appreciate you watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.